Have you ever paid your rent on time, fixed problems yourself, and treated your home like gold, only for your landlord to shove you out and claim your deposit for damages that don't exist? What would you do if the person you trusted most in your home tried to rob you, belittle you, and humiliate you? Today, you're going to hear the story of the revenge that made a bad landlord wish he'd never crossed me. Before we dive in, if you love stories of sweet, satisfying revenge, hit that like button, subscribe, and stick around. This isn't just a tale of getting even. It's about patience, planning, and delivering justice with precision. I'm a dry liner. I work on the final stages of construction projects, moving from site to site. That means constantly renting flats and houses, rarely staying more than 6 months. Over the years, I've dealt with all kinds of landlords. The good, the bad, and the unforgettable. Most bad landlords? I take my loss, leave, and never look back. But this particular landlord, he was about to discover that you don't push me without consequence. It all started when I got a major job in London, working on the new Wembley Stadium. I wanted a house, not a flat, so I could settle in for a while. I found a reasonably priced property and met the landlord. He seemed okay, so I handed over the deposit in cash and moved in that weekend. For nearly a year, everything was smooth. Rent paid on time. Minor issues? Fixed by me. No complaints. My small contributions even improved the house from its original state. I had almost no interaction with the landlord. Occasionally, he sent an engineer when the boiler acted up, but otherwise we kept communication minimal. I was diligent, respectful, and trustworthy. I expected nothing more than to hand back the keys and get my deposit, the standard end-of-tenancy routine. But I was about to learn the landlord had a different plan. The betrayal. Deposit snatched, 5 to 7 o'clock. When the job finished, I visited his pawn shop, he owned one, to give notice and arrange a move-out inspection. He never came, so I assumed he might inspect while I was at work. Fair enough. Move-out day arrived. I handed him the keys and asked for my deposit. His response? Cold and dismissive. What deposit? I reminded him that I had paid the deposit when I moved in. His answer was infuriating. He claimed he was keeping it to cover damages. Damages that didn't exist. I asked, what damages? Instead of answering, he stepped up, inches from my face, and shoved me back. I had to take 3 steps to avoid falling. He was taller, stronger, and clearly used to intimidating people. Most would back down. Most would let the loss slide. Not me. I froze, ready to confront him, muscles tensed. My army training kicked in. Before I became a builder, I was in the British Army, the Royal Green Jackets. We were trained to meet aggression with decisive, controlled force. I took a deep breath, stepped back mentally, and thought, stop, think, there's another way. Then a bolt of inspiration struck. I smiled. I said, okay, bye, and walked out of his shop. Most people would consider that the end of it. But he had no idea I had a spare key, hidden, waiting. Later that evening, I returned to the house. Quietly, carefully. My plan was simple. Reclaim control without destroying myself in a confrontation. I spent the night dismantling the property. Methodically, meticulously. Doors came down. Skirting boards, banisters, architraves, all removed. The kitchen units, carefully disassembled. Wood flooring and carpets, neatly piled. Nothing damaged beyond use, but nothing left as it was. Hours of precision. Hours of quiet satisfaction. Each plank I removed was a mental note to the landlord. You tried to bully me. Now you're the one dealing with the aftermath. Morning came. My van was packed, ready for my next job in Scotland. But before leaving London, I wanted one last act of salt in the wound. I stopped at his pawn shop. Landlord absent. Perfect. I retrieved a hammer, screwdriver, bag of nails, and a box of screws from my van and left them with his assistant. I told her, tell your boss, you'll be needing these. Then I drove off, northbound. Peaceful satisfaction settled in as I imagined the confusion, frustration, and anger he would feel as he discovered the house stripped down, the tools left behind, and no recourse to blame me. Hours later, In a service station near Nottingham, I switched my phone on. Messages, voice notes, anger dripping from every syllable. He didn't understand. He couldn't understand. And I couldn't help but chuckle. One text summed it up. Do you think you're ***king funny leaving me nails and screws? I replied simply, yes. The beauty wasn't in confrontation. It wasn't in violence. It was in the calm, methodical dismantling of his power, leaving him with the chaos he tried to inflict on me. Every piece of wood removed, every tool left behind, felt like reclaiming control. I didn't need to shout. I didn't need to shove. I had outsmarted him. My army training taught me patience, observation, and precision, and for once those lessons served in a domestic battlefield. He had tried intimidation. I had responded with strategy. His threat, his aggression, his false claims, all nullified by patience and foresight. Imagine his confusion when he returned home. Doors missing, skirting boards gone, kitchen units carefully stacked in neat piles. A bag of nails, a hammer, screws, a final message from someone he underestimated. His anger, his intimidation, evaporated under the weight of logic and planning. He couldn't report me. He had no proof of malicious intent, only a tenant who had cleverly reclaimed autonomy in a situation where he tried to assert dominance. And that's the beauty. Justice didn't need confrontation. It didn't need violence. It needed patience, strategy, and wit. Patience beats anger. Sometimes the calmest mind wins. Planning pays off. Foresight turns frustration into satisfaction. Respect earns respect. Those who try to bully will often face the consequences they didn't anticipate. Nonviolence can still deliver justice, strategy over strength, wit over force. I walked away with satisfaction. No one else got hurt. He learned his lesson, and so did I, about trust, patience, and the power of clever revenge. If you enjoyed the story, hit like, subscribe, and comment below with your own revenge story. Share it with someone who's ever been wronged and underestimated. Sometimes the best victories are the quiet, clever ones. Remember, patience, wit, and strategy can outmatch brute strength every single time.